Andy McNamara for WCZR Code Zero Radio. I'm here with a man that has affected modern music in a way like not many others, the one and only Butch Vig. Butch, how does it feel to be back in Madison for Joey's song?
Well, you probably know I've just spent the last 6 hours rehearsing for tonight's show, and now we have to do it again. So I am thrilled to say I think it's going to be an incredible show. All the artists who are here this year have really stepped up, and each year is different because we have a different mix of people who not only sing by themselves but also collaborate with each other. And so my job is a big puzzle to put all the pieces, the drums and bass and violin and sax and all the singers and guitars and bass, and it's a lot of work, but it's incredibly cool. And we're going to have a show.
Well, the shows get bigger and bigger every year. Sam Gamal obviously has been coming up every year and paying tribute to his brother in a way in music, but somebody close to you, Bo, has been doing more and more singing. How does that feel as a parent?
It's so crazy cool that Bo is into doing this, and it's crazy because she is totally fearless. She has no stage fright. So when we were doing the show yesterday, I just shoved her on the stage and she went out. She's into theater and into singing. She plays piano. And honestly, I'm trying to sort of start to pass this to the next generation, to carry this on for a long, long time. So I need to get the youngsters involved. And I'm glad that Bo is a big part of it. And Sam played an original song last night. It was incredibly well written, and his singing has gotten so good. I mean, in the last 3 or 4 years he's performed, every year just goes up another notch, and I see that every year. We also, after our Thursday rehearsal here, we went to Smart Studios. The studio, it's not really Smart Studios anymore. It's 1254 East Washington. Nika, the woman who bought the building, has kept a lot of the framework and just sort of the inside, very much like a studio, even though she lives there. And Freddie Johnston went and played an hour-long acoustic show, and we all went over and hung out. And it was a really trippy moment because at one point, Bo got up and sang with Freddie. And I'm thinking, I recorded Freddie here 30 years ago. Now he's singing in the studio. And my daughter's singing with him. So it was crazy full circle. And I loved it. I have to say, I sobbed a few tears.
Nothing wrong.
Because I'm a softie.
Well, you've done so much music, and you've been asked this a million times, so I apologize, but I have to bring it up because it is such a great album. But how did it feel to record Fun with Adams, Main Street?
Oh, okay, well, you're smoking my last cigarette. I mean, I love making this record. The band are super cool. They still play gigs, right? Because I see on their Facebook and Instagram when they're out doing shows, and they luckily entrusted me. We did this in late 84, 85, right? So the studio had only been open a year. And they're like, yeah, you're going to produce a record. And I didn't even really still know what producing was, but they just let me guide them, and I thought we made a killer record. So,
well, Dan Collins said that you had an alarm clock set. I don't know if you remember this, and that he thought it was for some thing you had scheduled, but it turned out you had that set for beer time. How has your process changed over the years, or is it still the same?
There's no more beer time. I think, being from Wisconsin, that's part of the culture. So it was probably set for 4 or 5 p.m., happy hour, whatever, typical happy hour. I remember they did that. I remember we recorded that album in the Gishel building, which is the first studio that we were in, and we had to 8-track them. And they will probably tell you this too. The bathroom was outside the hall, and you had to go what felt like 500 feet to go there. And we had these rolling chairs, much like you're sitting in right there. And we started having these contests, if you had a break, who could roll a chair down in the bathroom, take a pee, and roll it back fast enough. I mean, that's what you do when you're tuning the snare drum or, trying to restring a guitar. You have downtime. But, yeah, 4 o'clock, it was probably a 4 p.m. happy hour, yeah.
Last question for you. Of course, Frank Anderson from the Fox Cities. A lot of people from the Fox Cities. You mentioned Sam and Alex, and we've got Matty Day. Do you remember where you met Frank Anderson, and how did he get pulled in to record accordion on the 12 Point Buck album from Killdozer?
I mean, I've known Frank for a long time. When I started out with my band Spooner, he was in a band who were really hot at the time in Madison, Buzz Gunderson. And Frank's always been one of those guys who plays a lot of instruments. You know, he's a great guitar player, great bass player, plays accordion, incredible on lap steel and pedal steel. And he just started stopping by Smart and doing sessions. And for some inexplicable reason, I thought it would be great to add an accordion to a Killdozer song. And of course, Frank said yes. Frank never says no. Have you realized that?
Yes.
If you say, Frank, can you, before he even finished, he goes, yes. And he is a true Renaissance man. I mean, he's an incredible artist, animator. He does Wisconsinology, you know, podcasts on his own with this really deep, like Orson Welles, and then the ship sunk in Lake Michigan. And I love him. And honestly, the core of all these Joey songs now is the Fox River Valley dudes, man. Alex Strossart and Sam Farrell and Frank's been part of it for many years, and now we have more of their crew, the Appleton crew, coming down there. Corey Chisel's from up there, and so they're a big part of the core band that does Joey's song, and they're killer musicians, man. They kind of make it work because we have so many people coming going on stage, and we need someone up there every night just to hold the basics down, you know, to do the homework, know the songs, the chords, or whatever. And so they're the wrecking crew for the Know It All Boyfriends and for Joey's song.